The people you will see in this film are all associated with This Is the Edge. Our program is designed to go into middle schools and high schools and provide an opportunity for students to express themselves emotionally, honestly, and without judgment in a familiar and safe environment. The Edge allows kids to feel heard and acknowledged by people who care. If students can feel safe to express themselves openly about all aspects of their life, they will lose their sense of isolation and poor self-image. They will gain a renewed sense of dignity, respect, and self-empowerment.
My name is Grant Williams. We're in my backyard now in Southern Oregon. The Edge is something that I founded. I did it with the help of Floyd Graves, who you met earlier. He was athletic director and student dean of Rogue River Middle School. The Edge is different in that we want the schools to collaborate with us. We want them to know everything we're going to do, and it comes free of cost. It's about a 4.5-hour workshop at the most. Sometimes we get it done in 3.5 hours. And it can be very intense. It's an opportunity for kids to tell their truth about their lives, what's happening to them in school as well as at home, in a very safe way that is loaded with support. It's very non-judgmental, and the authenticity that is experienced there is profound to the point where it's palpable in a beautiful and magical way. People get healed when they experience what the Edge is about.
My name is Tanya Marina Maxwell, and I am a board member and volunteer with the Edge program. And I was involved in it when it first started up, partially due because of my profession in the schools, and also just because of my interest and concern about youth.
And what is your profession? What do you do?
I've been a certified school counselor, secondary level, for 14 years. And I'm also an educator, alternative education. Working as a certified school counselor for 14 years, what I have noticed is that there's a pervasive sense of isolation among the kids, and that sense of hopelessness and aloneness is something they struggle with daily. And I see the Edge as a way of alleviating that. The Edge helps them not feel alone. It helps them unburden themselves, and it helps them feel like they're part of a community and belong somewhere.
I'm Floyd Graves. I'm on the board for the Edge. Grant and I started the Edge looking for an answer for problems that we saw in education. I left education after 32 years, and I was probably about 15 years into my career when I started looking around and seeing a lot of things, a lot of problems, a lot of things that the kids were struggling with, and there needed to be another answer. Something besides test scores, something besides state requirements for graduation. There was a lot of humanity missing. There was the bullying and the harassment and all those things which have gone on for a long time. But there's got to be another answer. And Grant showed up, and we talked together and organized This Is the Edge. And it's been a working process, and we're getting to the point of being pretty comfortable with what we're presenting, what our product is. This Is the Edge is an answer to separation. Kids go through a process of being a mirror of society, and our society says if I can make you different than me, then there's a reason for me not to associate with you and to take it even as far as I will dislike you. This Is the Edge shows kids that we have more in common with everybody we meet, even on the streets, than what we think, from our joys to our emotions to our hurts, our rewards, and given the opportunity in a safe environment to drop the shields, they're able to look around and go, I'm not alone.
So the focus with the EDGE is more on helping the young people, both boys and girls, to develop emotionally, to basically help them get through school. That's the bottom line. In a healthy, emotional way where they're supporting each other. And we also attempt, it's a very, very big area, but we attempt to address bullying and some of the negative aspects of modern high school life, high school and junior high school life. So that's what we do in the EDGE.
My name is Cheryl. I am a social worker here in the area. I work in 3 different positions in the community. I have worked for 15 years as an ER social worker at a local hospital in the evenings. I also work as a social worker with one of our community health clinics, and I have a small private practice. The EDGE is a program opportunity for the schools in the area to be able to reach out to the students that are going to school who are struggling on a multitude of levels which I deal with all the time in the other work that I do, whether it is drugs and alcohol, whether it is depression, whether it is suicidal ideation, self-mutilation, teen pregnancy, eating disorders, excessive exercise, and perhaps not only helping students to find better avenues for addressing the life issues that wind up manifesting in those ways, but also to help the teachers in terms of getting to know the students more and getting to know more effective ways to be able to reach out to the students so that the job that they are there to do can be accomplished more effectively.
I absolutely see a need for this kind of a program in all schools, frankly. You know, I do hear a lot of things behind closed doors, and I'm also out there, you know, with the kids during their breaks, listening to conversations or participating in conversations. And I think one of the big issues that a lot of teenagers face is that there's a pervasive sense of isolation among them. They feel alone, and they feel like other people don't really understand what they're going through. And a lot of kids, you know, no matter what income level, no matter whether or not they've been designated as, quote, at risk or not, kids are going through a lot of stress. They're experiencing a lot of stress. They're afraid about the future. Quite a few kids feel very hopeless about the future, looking at the state of the globe. And things that they hear on the news. And I'm not, you know, there are some good things happening, and they do see some of those too. But I think the sense of hopelessness is a real issue, and a sense of disconnection. And so I think that the EDGE is an opportunity to help them feel a sense of connection with each other and with the school community, to help them not feel like they're alone in their struggles. You know, when they walk across the line back and forth and they look around at each other and they realize, oh my gosh, you know, I'm not the only one who's gone through this. I'm not the only one who feels this way. I'm not the only one who's been a bully, experienced being a bully, you know, or has lost somebody really important to them, or on and on. And when they feel that, it makes them feel more comfortable in their own skin, for one thing. And I think it makes them, when they look at each other walking down the hall, even somebody that you thought, was a dweeb, they'd look at them in a different way. There's a different slant on things, and it helps kids just have a different perception of each other a little bit. And they can go back into patterns, but they still carry that with them. And that's what I've heard from kids. I've talked to kids after we did the Edge at Rogue River Middle School, and a lot of them just really felt it was a very valuable experience. Some of them want to make this their profession. They're very gung-ho about it. And so as far as being a counselor, there's kids, suicide is an issue. Among children and teenagers. It's unacceptable, the level of attempts, the level of kids that feel depressed and wonder why they're going to school, wonder why they're, what their future really holds for them. And if they have some difficulties in their own home lives, or even if they don't, that's a piece where I think the Edge can help them feel a sense of community, a sense of belonging, and not feel so alone. And that's what comes up when kids talk about not wanting to live, is feeling alone, not wanting to be a burden on other people. And so this is a way to help them feel connected. And I feel like it's important. And they're not going to want to learn unless they're able to emotionally feel, halfway decent inside themselves, and to feel like they're wanted, or to feel like they're cared about, by, the world, or by the society, or by the school. Do they really care about us, or do they just care about our test scores? What about us as a person? Do they know that I can play really incredible guitar? I may not be good in math, but, and so it helps people kind of get to know each other and feel a little closer, so that, relationship can build between the staff and the students and the students, the parents, students and staff. And I also know, I've also got my administrative license recently, and I also know from a lot of research papers I wrote, there's studies show that if you build relationship in a school community, you will have more success. And so that's the bottom line of the Edge, is building relationship, a sense of safety, belonging, and trust. And kids say that it helps them.
Mark Rosewood. I've been mentoring pretty much all my life, and when Grant had brought up the opportunity to start the Edge and be a part of it, I jumped on it. And I actually had a meeting with him prior to that. I was like, you need to do your own thing, because I just saw the passion from him, and I'm very passionate about working with kids and mentoring and just affecting the world and making change. That's really my passion and what my mission in life. The Edge is a program. We go into the public schools or wherever we are invited, and what we do is we take a grade out and we spend a half a day with them in circle, really getting to listen to their concerns and their fears and their hurts and their wants and their desires. It's an opportunity for these young boys and girls to be heard, and we do some processes with them that kind of take them deeper into who they are. It's allowing them to feel safe in accessing their emotions in a safe environment that normally would not be safe. When you're around 200 other students and you have your jocks and your punks and your hippies, all vying for power or who's better than the other, but putting them all into one arena of, wow, we are all the same, and allowing that to shine through.